Authors often say that books that they are working on write themselves. What does that mean? It basically means that you can't switch off your mind, that constantly you're coming up with new ideas and new thoughts, and you feel pressure to document this. And this is pretty much what has happened to me. A book that I've been working on for some time that I've called Bottleneck fits exactly in that category. So what is the book about? It's a novel or fable about a character that probably many of us can associate with, in that the demand on this person's attention is often exceeding their available attention. All the things at work and at home that's demanding their attention is exceeding their available attention. And that has caused them to become a bottleneck. There's a famous quote that the bottleneck is always at the top of the bottle. That's true not just for organizations, but also for us. Our bottleneck is our limited attention. And when that limited attention is not enough to cope with the demand, it makes us feel overwhelmed. The book is about identifying what are the type of things that cause us to waste our limited attention, and how an attention crisis then becomes a decision-making crisis. There's a reason why we say, I have to pay attention to something or someone. It's because it's a kind of an economic transaction. There's of course a benefit of paying attention to one thing or to one person. If I pay attention to only one thing, we've all experienced that hyperproductivity, when you can pay attention to just one thing and you can get so much done in such a short period of time. That's the upside of paying attention to one thing. Also, when we pay attention to one person, there's a huge upside to that. We make the other side feel like $1 million. We're focusing all of our attention on them. But there's also a downside. And the downside is not just the effort it takes to pay attention to one thing or to one person, but the opportunity cost related to that, which is by paying attention to this thing, I'm not paying attention to other things. And by paying attention to this person, I'm not paying attention to other people. And that's what the book is about, is to share the story of somebody just like us, whose attention crisis have become a decision-making crisis, and that he realizes very quickly that it's so important to have some way of making good decisions of what and who to pay attention to, and probably as importantly, what and who not to pay attention to. And that's really what the book is about. The second part of the book is the model part of the book, which will go into a bit of the background theory, all the research lately that supports the storyline, and also the theory that supports all the methods that we show in the book that the character develops to help him cope with this attention and decision-making crisis, and then some practical applications on how people can use these tools and methods to resolve their decision-making crisis, and by doing that, resolve their attention crisis.